I've actually gotten a lot of praise and commendment from people. They admire my honesty and my my stance that I don't think that there's anything wrong with me. I think that I have a hurdle, as you say, that looks different than the next person's. Mm-hmm. And I think that we're all human beings, mm-hmm. living life, doing the best we can. Mm-hmm. And people appreciate that standpoint. Mm-hmm. I've come to realize. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and have any of you, I guess, encountered the people who have made fun of you because of it, or been not so accepting of it, and how do you handle that when that occurs?
Oh yeah, one time I had a boss he was giving me trouble with the schedule, and he didn't understand. No matter what I did, it didn't seem like. And he told me that because I work at a hotel, that I just wish you would find another job. This is not the best business for you to be in. Granted, it's a stressful business, but that is extremely unprofessional and extremely cruel of you to say. Mm-hmm. And thanks, mm-hmm. X person,
Yeah, and I think it's not so much the people who I kind of get hassle from. Just kind of being in the high school community, there's always, anti fill in the blank like language going on, whether it's like anti-gay language, anti this or that language. And so a lot of times I hear kids like joking about seizures and stuff like that, and they don't know that I have a seizure. And so I've kind of noticed that it's those type of things, I say, hey you guys, you really shouldn't joke about that. Mm-hmm. Right. And they look at me because they don't know that I have seizures, but they do, they kind of like, swallow a little bit. Yeah, they're kind of like, oh, okay. Even though they don't know maybe my personal circumstance, I think it's great if you just like take a stand when you do get hassled, or not you personally, but if you hear stuff like that, you have to advocate. Mm-hmm. And you just have to kind of, I guess, take a stand.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of times when we have seizures, we feel very bad about ourselves after the seizure, and we don't like to put ourselves in this position of feeling bad, so we may not advocate when we should, mm-hmm. because we don't want to be put down. After all, having a seizure in public is not something everybody wants to do. So it takes a lot of courage to do that.
Yes.
And everybody who has seizures is courageous. Mm-hmm. Now, I know people who say, no, not me. Yes, everyone at this table and out in TV land mm-hmm. is courageous who has epilepsy, because they have to function at a different level than the general population does, and then they have to put up with different prejudices that the general population does. Mm-hmm. So many of us think that we are not as good as. I would like to propose that we are just as good, or maybe have better coping skills than others.
Yeah, mm-hmm. It provides us with a different point of view.
Yes.
that gives us a foot ahead, step ahead of mm-hmm. of other people mm-hmm. in many ways. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've been in situations where people weren't understanding of the behavior, and if they were reacting negatively, I purposefully offered to provide them with information,
right.
And explained what was going on, and if they needed further information, I knew how to. Could I have their information? I could call them, and we could talk more.
Mm-hmm. I also just thought about when I was having trouble at work at one point, I was kind of relentless with, so did you call this person yet? Did you call this person yet? Here's this, here's this, here's this, here's this, and then finally they're probably like, okay, come on, mm-hmm. I'll do it. I'll read it. I'll go to the meeting.
Learn about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the next question would be, how do you talk to your own or your child's doctor?
I'd like to answer that. I'll start. That was a learning process. That was definitely a learning process, because I felt at first that the doctors should know everything and should be telling me. And that's just not the case. I have come to understand that my relationship with my daughter's doctors, she has several, is that it is a true partnership. And I am the expert on her, and they are the expert on the medical end of things, and we will discuss together with the information that each of us can provide the other, and come together with the best plan for her. So from my standpoint, to be fulfilling my end of the bargain, I come to the appointment prepared. If I have questions, I'm ready to ask them. I have a goal for the appointment. What exactly is it that I'm trying to find out, achieve, and that I agree with the plan that we come to put together, and how we're going to move forward with her treatment.
I actually have a calendar that every day I have A, B, C, D, E, and like petit mal is A, for instance, and B is drop, and just like what exactly was going on. And I keep track of my seizures on this calendar, and you can find them online. There's Epilepsy Foundation probably has it online, and so I take that calendar so they can see, and I also fill out a different series of questions just about other things. How am I feeling, this and that, what medication am I on? Bring that to the doctor, saves a lot of time. And then as far as my neurologist goes, we talk about neurology things. I have a team of naturopaths, and I have a therapist that helps me with other things, and I kind of have to piece it together because neurologists don't always want to talk with naturopaths, and it's up to you if you want to pursue a different path. But I have a nutritionist, and I take natural pills, and I just talk about what each one of them says separately, and it's up to me and my mother, who's a godsend, to put all that together. And that natural way has helped me a lot. So yeah, you have to read too. That's the other thing. Be educated.
Yeah. Well, I am lucky enough, I guess, still, since just being 17, I still go to Children's Hospital. And so I go in there and I still get the lollipop and everything, which I like. But at the same time, a lot of times, since it is Children's Hospital, they're not as willing, they don't go into as much detail as, I'm going to be voting, and I'll be eligible to vote in 6 months.
Year,
and so it's, I went in for my last appointment. It was kind of then that I realized, okay, so I've been on this medicine now for 3 years. Can you please explain to me exactly what it's doing? And actually at my school, they started this new course, a neurobiology course. And so I decided to take that class, and I've been learning about all this different stuff, but it's helping me a lot, kind of piece a lot of the things together that I kind of had to coax out of my Children's Hospital doctor. And I think she was kind of surprised, because I don't think she's used to getting questions from kids themselves. And so that was kind of a great, kind of a rewarding, I guess, feeling that I got. At the same time, though, I went to a doctor at Johns Hopkins University Hospital. And when I went there, that was right after I was diagnosed, and kind of that experience went way over my head, because he was used to dealing with adults. And at that time I was 15, and kind of the way he talked to me, we kind of, at that time I didn't, and that was also kind of the same time where I was dealing with not really believing that I had epilepsy. And so that was kind of an experience where I really had to go through a parent, and I just kind of trusted my mom to know what was doing. And now kind of looking back and how, experience and everything that I know that he is as a doctor, he's the one who got me controlled. I kind of wish that I had asked more questions and done that. And even as kids, if you have children who are old enough to have voices and ask themselves, encourage them to ask questions, because that's one thing I regret. Just being 15, you're confused. I know you're confused, and so you can ask the doctors questions.